Resident Evil Extinction is the third movie in the Resident Evil movie series. In this movie, Alice, played by Mila Jovovich, receives some genetic alterations from Umbrella, which leaves her with some very supernatural powers. Hiding in the Nevada desert, she manages to find some people who she teamed up with previously, as well as Claire Redfield. And together they try to find a way to eradicate this virus that threatens the whole entire world. This movie sucks. Straight up. I can't really find anything good with this movie. Nothing in this movie is particularly memorable, except maybe that scene with the birds, just because it was so bad. This movie feels like a filler movie, something that just shows what happens and that's it. There was no depth and it was visually bland. I mean, the whole tone of the movie was a very grayish and brownish washed out color. It wasn't very pleasing to look at. And worst of all, the very annoying music from the first movie kept looping over and over again when something happens that they think is exciting. On top of that, a lot of things don't really make sense in this movie. For instance, there was this one scene where they reached Las Vegas, and a lot of famous landmarks, such as the Eiffel Tower and the Statue of Liberty, were all there together. Apparently there was so much sand that it drifted all of them to the exact place at the exact time. I think I even saw the pyramids of Giza there. But yeah, that is just so very stupid. This movie was less survival horror and more supernatural. Alice can apparently bend fire now and cause explosions, make objects float. Just really, really dumb. Personally, I hate the supernatural direction that this movie takes. For me, it's just too over the top at a point where it just becomes stupid. The characters were bland, even Alice wasn't interesting anymore. Same with the antagonist. The whole film was very lackluster and it just wasn't interesting at all. There weren't any very unique monsters, just zombies. And basically all of the jump scares in this movie was a zombie suddenly appearing out of nowhere. They made something not scary at all into a very cheap jump scare. It was cool to see Claire Redfield in the movie, but she didn't really have anything going with her. Unlike in the previous movie with Jill Valentine, who had a unique flair about herself. I didn't feel this for any of the characters in this movie. It also tries to be very emotional at times, but it just doesn't work. I guess the only thing I liked about this movie was the very end, where it sets up the next movie quite smoothly with the idea of the Alice clones. It makes it kind of exciting to see what happens in the next movie. The only good thing about the movie was that the Alice clones were somewhat interesting, but they didn't really elaborate that further. I hope they do in the next movie. The CGI was bad, especially that bird scene as well. This isn't one of those movies that I just hate and can't stand because it's so terrible. It's also not one of those movies that it's so bad that it's good. It's one of those movies that you just forget about in one day, or even a couple of hours. It felt like a really budget Max Fury. I'm going to rate Resident Evil Extinction a D. So, Resident Evil Extinction, have you seen it or not? Did you like it or hate it? Please leave a comment about your thoughts below. Like the video if you liked it. Also, leave a sub to help grow the channel. Feel free to check out my previous video. Until next time.